When I grew up in Herbert, if you wanted some paraffin for a paraffin lamp, you went to the local garage with a milk bottle and they would just fill it up, no questions asked, and just charge you a few coppers. But the site where the garage was is known as Tapper's Garage, and I've noticed recently that it's gone, obviously, and it's now a form of a garden, but I'm not quite sure what this garden is about. Well, I've just passed on the bus now and there's an open day, so I thought let's go and have a look what's occurring at the old Tapper's Garage. Nice polytunnel, I say. And look at all the trees and beds. Let's have a little wander around. Let's have a look. Maybe this is a cafe, is it? I could do with a cup of tea. A beautiful shed, I must say. Oh yes, there's a place for a cup of tea in there. Ah, I see they are using my picture there of Tapper's Garage, which they've taken off the internet. And here are some other pictures. And then in the 2000s, they just covered it with hoarding. So this has only been here since 2016, 17. So there's loads of fruit trees here. It's a bit like a community orchard. And let's have a look inside their very impressive polytunnel. This is where they do all their plants. It's a nice size in here, I must say. I wonder if these are available or whether it is just for the group. Anyway, we'll have a talk to the person in charge in a moment. She's a bit busy. Right, I think their labelling is a bit wrong because that is a lettuce. It's not an evening primrose. But it's all about the recycling of pots, isn't it? And there's some more lettuce. They obviously like their lettuce here.
So this site, it's an engagement site. So we engage with the community about different growing methods. We have some hydroponics, some aquaponics, and something called aeroponics, where we grow microgreens using a mist system. At the same time, we do some traditional growing in soil. So we've got a polytunnel where we start seedlings off, and we do regular plant swapping with the community. We have regular community days in the summertime. We also do some school engagement. And at the same time, we're looking at opening a cafe using the site. Presently, our local community and people from further afield, more than welcome to pop in on a Wednesday. It's always open between 10 and 2 p.m. We're here, we'll put the kettle on for you. Come and use the space to relax in, have a look around, get involved in our plant swapping.
Quite a few herbs in these raised beds. I do like these raised beds. Oh look, a Belfast zinc. And some, oh, what you call those? Cornflowers. But it's a nice use of the space because the space was empty for quite a few years. I wonder if they took the tanks out because there were two very large petrol tanks underneath this bit of land here. And this is the wildlife corner for, obviously, wildlife. Now I think this building is closed in the corner here, but this is actually one of those buildings that have all the different coloured lights in, so you can grow food hydroponically. But this is a big site, so I never saw this because obviously this was behind the garage section. But it's nice that these sites are being used and that it's not just houses. And look, you can come and have a little sit outside. A few of their trees are a bit in the sick bay, so they're being taken down to see the doctor now. Being put at the back here to keep them away from everything else. So they'll be treated out of the way down there and then brought back up when they're a bit more healthier. This must take a lot of hosepipe work to keep all this watered. Oh, and their shed has got solar panels on top. That's great. Look at these flowers down here. Now some might say these are weeds, but don't they look beautiful? Just walking down the street here and I noticed there's a new cafe. Now I can see there's somebody in there, so I'm going to knock the door and see if I can go in and find out what's going on.
I'm Robert.
I'm Mandy.
We're having a soft launch on Saturday, 5 to 7. We have invited a lot of people, but if people are passing, the door's going to be open, so if they want to come in, they can pop their head in.
And what are the times then during the week?
It'll be Tuesday to Saturday, 8 a.m. till 4, maybe 5 p.m. There'll be from 8 till 12 breakfast, coffees, danishes, croissants, full English breakfasts, healthy options, overnight oats, etc. And then from 12 till 4 it'll be light lunches, full patisserie stall, so nice cakes.
Well, it's getting quite busy now. This is rush hour into Herbert. I just got back to the house in time to meet the postman. Now, I'm very impressed, and I haven't even opened my parcel yet, but I'm impressed by the way it's been packed. This is the fruit that I ordered from Chris Bowers. So what I've decided, if you've been here for a while, I ordered a lot of fruit about 2-3 years ago on my London plot, and the plan was always to go back in October and dig up the fruit and bring it back. But the problem is the cost. I've looked into the cost of it, and to hire a van to go up there for the day, and possibly, because if I'm going that far, I may as well stay for the night and come back down the next day. So the cost of all that works out more than the cost of the fruit. I've just realised what they've done. They've put this bag on upside down. So maybe I shouldn't be doing this in the house and I should just wait and go to the plot. But I do like to get my plants out rather quick in order to give them air and give them some water. This is very well packed. It smells like a stable's in here. Oh, right, okay. There's a bit of cleaning up to be done at the end of this. It's one of those days where I've got so much to do in the house. I won't have time to go down to the homestead today, so for the time being, I will just put these in the garden so that they get some water. Oh, the cats will love this straw. Yeah, shouldn't be doing this here, but anyway, as they say in the good game shows, I've started, so I'll finish. So yes, I'm not going back to London to get my fruit. I'll probably go back and have a visit, but then I can just go on the train then and do that. Right, well this room needed a hoover anyway. My perfect house would be like they had on either the Waltons or on The Good Life, where the animals just walk in and out. A sort of farmhouse. So I'm not too bothered about the straw. But look at that. And this was, what was this? £10. And this is a white currant called, what's this called? I should know it because I bought it. White Dutch. So this is a currant called White Dutch, and it was featured on the Victorian kitchen garden back in the 80s. And this is one of the ones that I bought and is on the allotment in London. But look at that. That is a fine specimen. So this is a variety that would have been grown in the Victorian kitchen garden. I've also got another 2 varieties of things that I saw in the kitchen garden. I actually went to Harry Dodson's funeral. But listen to this. He died and he was buried 10 years later. Because a friend of mine was doing some research into where Harry's grave was. And they couldn't find out. So they phoned the undertaker and asked, where is Harry's grave? And he said, he hasn't got a grave. He's just sat on my shelf. So they did some research and they discovered where he wanted his ashes to be buried. So I was invited to the funeral to film it so that those that couldn't get there could see it. And those videos are on my channel, so I will link to them. The cats have just walked in. They can probably smell this. Now this one of these is blackcurrant, because I can actually smell it, and it actually has currants on. Now this is what I'm talking about. When you buy a plant, you want to see a bit of growth in there. And if they've got fruit, then so much the better. There you go. Look at it, there's actual currants on it. And this variety is red currant, red Paul, which is a new one on me. It's a recent introduction. I'm finding recently, I need to find my glasses. Anything that has a blue, a light blue or a yellow background, I'm finding it very difficult to read. And then we've got this one at the back, which I'm guessing is a blackcurrant. Is it? Yes, blackcurrant Ben Khan. And that is a new variety as well. Oh, look at that, that's bent over. So those are the currants. Now, do I continue and make even more of a mess? Why not? What is life if we don't make a mess and have a bit of fun at the same time, isn't it? Some people can be a bit too serious, as I see in the comments sometimes. If you can't smile, then this isn't the channel for you. Now in this one, I think is probably a gooseberry. But is it? Is it gooseberry or gooseberry? Let's call the whole thing off. And this is what I'm finding in the last few years. Go to the Independence. There's somebody at the door. Oh, cheers. Thank you.
All right, buddy. There we are, top man.
Thanks. Right. Well, it's certainly a busy day gardening wise. That's more plants. The reason why there's loads of plants turning up now is because I went to the door with a load of straw on my front. He must have thought, what's going on in that house? You know, I can hear the voices now. Oh, look at the mess he's making. Oh, there you go. Happy New Year. This takes me back to when I was in the chapel. I put on a show, and back in those days, you know, you're a bit too serious for your own good, and everything had to be spot on. So it was it was the Christmas story, and I insisted on having straw or hay, and everything was going well until the kids got up on stage, got the hay, took it upstairs and started throwing it over the old people, and they were there screaming. Right, I don't know, there it is. So what was I saying? Gooseberry. Where do you stand? Maybe I should have turned this room into an internal allotment. Right, let me keep an eye on this one now, because I may not want to undo that, because that is a gooseberry. And has it got spikes? It's got spikes, so I'm not going to undo that one. That is a gooseberry called hedgehog. A hedgehog gooseberry, which is a new variety. When was the last time you saw... Ouch. When was the last time you saw a hedgehog? Last time I saw one was actually when I lived in Wales, just down the road from where I am now. And I actually got my VHS camera out at the time and filmed it and brought it into the kitchen to give it some food. And I was so busy watching this hedgehog, I didn't see that the hedgehog had a plan. And the next thing, it went behind the kitchen cabinets. And it took all night to get this hedgehog out. Now, another thing I've bought. So there's one variety of hedgehog, and the other variety is early sulphur, which is another plant that was in the Victorian kitchen garden. So, and I don't mind them, but I don't do a lot with gooseberries. So I'll have to find something to do with them. And then the other thing I've bought, which doesn't look that good. Is there more parcels? Oh no, that's the fruit and veg man. So he'll be coming to knock the door next. But I think I'm okay for fruit and veg this week. This is a raspberry, which doesn't look much, but I'm not surprised because it's a very old raspberry, and I first bought it about 2 or 3 years ago. So this is on the allotment in London as well. And it's called Yellow Antwerp, and it is such an old one that there haven't been any stocks of this for about 30 years. It's only in the last few years they managed to get stocks. So I'm okay with the fact that it's so small, because I need to grow them on. So I bought 3 of them. I thought I'm not waiting for another 30 years for them to turn up, so I bought 3. I've just remembered now, I don't think I finished my story. So the reason why I'm not getting my stuff from London is because of the cost. It works out cheaper for me to buy the stuff all over again. And also, the London plot is full of mare's tail and bindweed. And from what I can see of the new land that I've got, is that there is no mare's tail and there's no bindweed there either. And it seems to me very weed free because it's had chickens on it for the last few years. And I don't want to take that risk of bringing the fruit from London to Treherbert and introducing mare's tail on the land that I've got. I just don't think that it's worth the hassle, because once you have it, there's no way of getting rid of it. Right, I've had some Sarah Raven stuff just turn up, so I'd be checking that order as well. The cats are going to start thinking, what the hell's going on? Right, that's one box. This is the disadvantage with buying stuff on the internet and for buying stuff in the end of spring sale, which is what I've done here. This is why there's so much stuff going on at the moment, because a lot of this was on offer. And you sit in the warmth of your house, don't you? And you click and click, and you think, oh, look at that. That's a pot plant that's only £4 down from 10. I'll buy 3 of them. You don't realise that 2 weeks later they're all going to turn up at the same time. So my plan of being prepared has gone out the window. I am notorious for buying things and then having to find space for them in the garden. And I would like to be in a position where the space is ready, then I go and buy the plants. But that's not me. Oh. Oh. I'll be asleep within the hour. So this is one of those offers that we're on. And if I can find the invoice, I will tell you the price. Whew. Can you guess what it is? Right, well, at least these are packed a lot better than the last time, because this is from Sarah Raven. In fact, they're so well packed I can't get the buggers out. Oh. Certainly need a cup of tea after this. And then a Hoover. I have a few more guesses before it comes. There you go, ready-made gardening. It's like the Chelsea Flower Show. I have 4 lavender bushes and look how beautiful they look. Stunning. Right, let's put them up here for the time being. Oh, here we go. This is where everything starts to collapse. It was all for show. Right, and then there's this box. There you go. I'm developing a new concept. It's called growing your food indoors. Right, can you tell what's in here? Oh, these need a bit of water. So this is what I try and do. With the exception of daffodils and spring bulbs, everything else I try and wait until the sales come on. And you can get really good bargains like this. If I can't find the invoice, I'll put up on screen how much this cost, because I was quite impressed. So here we go. So we have some more lavender bushes. So in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? It's a bit of a strange number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Plus I had that one before, so that's 11. So that's 6 on each side of the path. Although I don't know, maybe I'm developing a new trend. Put a lavender bush on your desk. The scent is really overpowering me, so I think I am going to go and have a cup of tea and have a sit down. I better not sit down in that chair, otherwise I won't wake up until tomorrow. But you know what? It smells beautiful. I've just had my batteries for my weighing scales. As a child, I used to refer to these as tablet batteries. I don't know what their proper name is. Right, we've had a few gifts through and some magnets. I forgot the name then. So we've got a packet of Epsom salts. Pop them over there. Along with a... Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a board for defrosting your food on. I will have to have a look at that later. So thank you very much to Julie for them. Now we've had quite a few magnets and I think they've come from abroad. So this first one is from... I can't understand that writing, unfortunately. It says... I think it's Genie, but I can't read it, to be honest. Or Jerome, I'm not quite sure, but it's magnets of New Mexico, which I don't think we've had those before. What are we going to do when this gets full? That's a question. So we've got 2 magnets, one there and one next door. So thank you very much for those. The next one comes from, it's a packet within a packet. Oh, hello. Glasses. Treacle Bay in Porthcawl, which is only down the road. In fact, I'll put that on the list of places to go, and that is from Ian. Thank you very much, Ian. Any more for any more? That's a birthday card, so thank you very much to Alan and Leslie. I'll put that with the collection. And this one, what's this one then? Oh, hey, from David in Houston. That must be the biggest one of the lot, I think. Pop you down there. Thank you very much for that. Now, got a few more. Where's this one from? This is from Julie in Colorado. Have we had a Colorado one before? I don't think we have we? And then, oh, that's my bank account. You don't want to see that. Nothing in there to show. And then we've got a card here from John and Lorraine, and they have sent me one from the New Forest. Look at that, beautiful. So we'll pop that one. Where should we pop that? Let's move things around a bit. Bring that down, pop that up there. And is that the end, I hear you cry? Just one more thing. This is from Hampus, and it's a grater. You remember I was doing my chocolate the other day. Well, I can grate it on this now rather than taking time pulling out the NutriBullet. And I've just had something else through. And I didn't realise this is what I bought. Thompson & Morgan were selling off some of their plants. And I should have really guessed when I saw the price. It was 72 plants for £12. And there they are. Now, if I knew they were plug plants, I might not have bought them because I haven't got the compost yet or the pots in order to deal with this. But I will try and do that in the next 24 hours. I'm finding, to be honest, I've been so busy with doing stuff in the community over the past week. I haven't had a lot of time for myself, so I might have to pull back on my community commitments over the coming weeks, because I would like to get the homestead up and running as soon as possible. And especially now, with all these plants coming in, there's going to be a lot of hours spent planting and putting them in the garden and trying to create some form of a structure. But anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch up with you in a few days most probably. But first of all, nice cup of tea and relax. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Oh no, I won't. I'll see you on Sunday. See, time's flying so fast, I'm losing track. One sneeze and it'll be Christmas.